to the channel, Johnny TruLuv, and yeah, welcome to HeyokaWarrior, man. Welcome to HeyokaWarrior. If you're finding this channel anytime soon, it means yeah, man, you're finding out your Heyoka. You're finding out what the fuck is really going on. You're finding out a lot about yourself, man. You're learning about yourself, and you're gonna continue to grow, and you're gonna continue to learn about yourself. And that's why I'm here, man. That's what's bringing me on today. You know, it's finding your sense of purpose, man. You know, how am I finding it? How am I discovering it? And how am I getting through this? And maybe by me sharing my story and me sharing a little bit more, just a little bit more personal in regards to my steps of what I'm doing, maybe it can help guide you, man. Maybe it can help guide you in the sense of understanding yourself, man. Because that's what this journey is about, as I'm understanding. You know, I can speak about this about in the Carl Jung way, like, you know, the whole Jungian style. I can speak about this in the hood way, meaning through the narcissist, and I can explain this through just trying to figure out what really am I here for? What purpose am I playing? What role am I doing? Like it is like it brings up the story. It brings up the quote of, "Are you living, or are you just like, you know, getting through your day? Like, are you living or just getting through your day? Are you just existing?" There you go. Are you living or are you just existing? And meaning, are you still asleep? Are you still out here? Are you still in those narcissistic cycles? Are you still in that toxic relationship? Are you still letting outside things validate you? Are you still letting the outside world getting you to react? Are you responding versus reacting? Are you self-aware of your actions? Are you self-aware of the role that you are partaking? So I say, and I keep on saying role because it's the truth, man. You know, in your own evolution, in your own development, you're gonna find this stuff out. You're gonna find it out in your own pace. You're gonna find out all these questions that you do have, and keep on asking these questions to yourself. Don't go explaining to other people because they're not, if they're not on the same level as you, and if it's not your tribe or your soul family, they're only going to belittle you. And pay attention to that. When you're talking to somebody, are they listening to you, or are they just waiting for you to finish so they can give you their input? And that's just something that I'm learning as well. You know, is it's listening and being the observer with no judgment. And that's something that I think has benefited me a lot in my own growth, my own spiritual awakening of understanding self. Like I said, man, understanding self. And as I'm understanding it through the Jungian perception, it's that's what it is. Individualization. I can't pronounce that word, man, but it's individuation of self, like of understanding it, and that's through the self, through the ego, and you have the anima and the anima, like all that in that perspective. Because I think breaks it down in 4 levels. And this is where I want to stay away from. This is where, if you really want to know in that aspect, check out like Dave Lightways. He explains it more in that counselor or therapist mindset. Like he's right, man. He's on point. Everything that he describes is what I've been through and what I've seen in my own journey, in my own awakening. So I'm just explaining it to you and through experience, man. And me understanding this stuff and learn from me. And I've said this in the beginning of my videos, is learn from me. Learn what to do and what not to do. You know what I mean? And because it's not always going to be peaches and cream, man. It's not always going to be, you know, fucking unicorns and rainbows. It's not always going to be like that. You know, you're gonna have your trials and tribulations, man. What's up, buddy? Man? What's going on? You be putting a lot of content, brother. I've been checking it out, man. You put a lot of content, man, and more power to you, brother. Actually, you know, you're one of the reasons why I get motivated, brother, to get out here, because it's people like yourself and other channels that I watch. And I'm like, dude, they're out there just giving their perspective and their point of view. I'm like, you know what? So why don't you know, because someone needs to hear it. You mean and if you think you know everything, like, as I'm not saying like, oh, I know this already, then you're never gonna grow, man. You're never gonna learn. So yeah, man. So I appreciate that, Mr. Alchemist. But we're here just to like, as I'm understanding, like, okay, because I was talking to one of my buddies before the full moon. I call him the medicine man, right? Nah, brother, I didn't know that. You know what? I'll check it out, man, for sure, brother. Um, and it's I was talking to my I call him the medicine man, right? And he said something to me like in the sense of like well he didn't well we're talking about like pornography and like how we go that way or why we so like infatuated with women or whatever it is, and that's my Achilles heel. If you ask me, women for me are my Achilles heel because I love women, dude. I just love them. I'll dude, that's my, yeah, man, that's my Achilles heel. Literally my Achilles heel. That's what fucking killed Achilles, right? Is that saving the damsel in distress and he got struck by the arrow. But yeah, man. And so we're talking about that, like that. Why do like he was saying like then why does he still just to sum it up like why does he still go that way or that route? And I goes because from what I understand it, we're lacking. I'll touch on that right now. We're lacking a sense of not direction because we are on the right track, but we're lacking. Sorry, man, I get distracted right now. Just give me a second. The message that came in at the moment, I told him, "Oh no, brother, it's because you're lacking sense or purpose, because the ego wants to feel alive, and it's gonna go back to self pleasures. If it's sex, if it's attention, if it's drama, if it's drugs, if it's just whatever it may be, that because you're set. It's instant gratification, and that's what the ego likes. The ego likes instant gratification, So it's because we're lacking a sense of like a purpose, like of purpose. That's what I'm saying. And the more we're aligned with that self, and the more we listen to that side of ourselves, you're not gonna side that way because you're going to your highest calling, as I'm understanding, as I'm seeing the way reality is working in my behalf. And I want to talk about a little bit more, like in the future, especially about manifesting, as I'm understanding it, man. Because if you're anything like me, you lack beliefs in that aspect that this is not gonna happen. It's a bunch of woo woo. But if I sit back and I just think about this and I just think about it, I'm like, dude, you are way better than when you were yesterday, than you were last week. Addiction simple, yes, and it is, man. It's because it's not my bad. So I'm like, cause I get distracted very easily, brother. ADHD, brother. I tell you that shit, man. I get squirrel. I'll get jumped off. So that's why I look around a lot, and then and speaking of this, I was seeing one of the sisters on it was called, talking about spiritual growth, and how she pulls the tarot, right? How she pulls the tarot out, and I'm like, you know what, to speak to spirit, and I'm like, you know what, I don't need tarot. I really don't need the tarot to speak to spirit. All I just need is just to escape the head. And the way I escape the head, like I said, is die once a day. Like Wim Hof. Wim Hof says die once a day, which is getting in touch with the breath, because the breath is attached to your emotions, and I said this before. And the more you're present here, not worrying about the past or the future, then you get these downloads, or you get the answer. And that's why, like before me, like as my awakening, I would look at a lot of tarot, brother, like a lot of tarot, like just to see what was, because the ego wants to find out. The ego wants to know what's happening. But you know what I mean. But if you really think about it, you already know the answers. You know all the answers, and that's why I stopped looking at tarot so much. Or I still do once in a while, just because I want confirmation. But you already know the answer, man. You already know which direction you take, and if you're aligned with yourself, and then if you're going towards your highest calling, then you're gonna be straight. So speaking of when we're lacking exactly, but people don't see that. Like as I'm on there, like reading the comments, people don't understand that. They're like, you know, as I see it, they're cross watching. They're worried about other people. They're worried about their twin flame. I'm like, dude, like if you really think about it, and maybe there is people who have like a real twin flame, but for me, we are our own twin flame because we learn from each other. And the people that we're meeting, like the outer world, just like me and you, we're learning. Like when I watch your videos, but I learn a lot, man. You talk about a lot of stuff like that. What do you really think about? And it just gives you a different set of a perception, a different set of eyes of seeing things. And I love your thumbnails, brother. Your thumbnails are always badass, man. You're always on point with those. It's really catchy. So yes, so going back to that, so they get addicted to because remember, tarot is just like it's guidance to spirit, and but you as a conscious being still have the choice to make your adjustments and because you're a creator. You're a creator if you're out of that victim mentality. And we're gonna touch upon that because, I was watching Aaron Dowdy, and he's a spiritual, spiritual guy, but he still talks a lot to the empaths, which is like what they're doing wrong, giving the power away, and it's something that, yeah, man, we have to start with the basics. You know what I mean by the basics? It's stop reacting, detach. I mean, what does it say? Let go what's no longer serving you. You have to, let's say, what is it? Attachment is the root to all suffering, like the Buddha. And the way I've described it before, it's like a wave. It's like when an ocean wave hits you, and if you fight the wave, what's gonna happen? It's gonna fuck you up, dude. It's gonna tear you fucking down. It really is. So it's going with the flow, letting that water go back, letting everything, and the more in flow you are in flow state, the more the next step will be revealed to you. Because like I said, so looking back at the tarot, that's what I've noticed. A lot of people, when they're watching tarot, they're usually worried about somebody else. And what people have to understand, as I learned, and I learned this through experience, is the narcissist in your life is there to wake you up. That's all they're really there for, is to show you what you're missing. What is it you need to fix? What is it you need to adjust? What is it that you need to to address? Because those are your shadow sides, and plus they're triggering the inner child, your own inner child wounds that you have, that you've ignored, your own past trauma, your own generational, like I was talking about in the last video. It was trauma, at least for my basis. Like, I could go back, like I said, to at least 200 years of just programming that was given to me, not understanding as you walk the matrix, as you walk in reality. Because remember, our beliefs and everything are given to us besides our own environment, as we're observing, as we grow up, as I grew up. That's why I say I'm half narcissist, brother, because I grew up in a narcissistic environment. My mom wasn't a narcissist. She was more, I would say, borderline-ish, especially for sure, codependency, and addiction. She was she was into drugs a lot. So me growing up around all that stuff gave me it built my character. I didn't have rules. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't have any sense of self. That's why, as an empath, you're able to walk into a fucking room. You're literally able to walk into a room and pick up the energy there. And you're not going to pick up the person with the highest energy. You're going to be scanning your own self as one who's frowning, the one who's not in that mood. You're going to pick that up right away. And you being, well, this is like me saying that people pleaser. And if you don't understand this part, remember, this is if you don't understand this part, you're going to go and try to make that person fit in or whatever, or you're gonna try to figure it out, or because your survival, younger, growing up, it depended on your caretakers, man, your parents. So that's what makes, and this is going back to what Aaron Dowdy was saying about empaths, man, and it's because that's all we know, it's all we remember, it's all that was it's so us growing up. It's like, so just touching back on. It was my friend's girlfriend, whatever. She was there. She was talking about how because she has kids about 20 to 23, but she was talking bad about his girlfriend. Like she was talking bad about her girlfriend. Like she was like, why are you with her? Why are you with her? And I wanted to tell her, like, because that's all he knows. What you're just describing, that sounds like a borderline. And if your son likes that, it's because that's all he knows. Wink, wink. But I couldn't tell her that, man. She would have been, I don't know her like that. And that's one thing about me, is I'm able to see your shortcomings. I'm able to see through your lies, through your bullshit. If I speak to you, especially if I speak to you, or I get to observe you for a while, I'm not gonna say that. You're a good guy, you're an alchemist, but nothing against you. But it just, I can start seeing your people's shortcomings. I can see, and people don't want to hear it. Because that's what I'm saying. If you're a truth teller, you're not gonna be liked. Because if you're unaware, you're gonna blur it out. You're gonna be acting like an immature Heyoka, which is half narcissist, and you're gonna be triggering people. That's the whole triggering people, and the narcissists are the best teachers. If you're still asleep, not understanding this stuff, you're a badass, man. You alchemist, you're a bad. I'm telling you, you give me the motivation, brother, to come on here. You really do, because you don't give a fuck. You're drinking on there, your glasses, and you're just laying. You're just and I don't know how the fuck you ignore the things, but me, if I see something, I'm already, like I said, like I'm already focused on that. And I just gotta stay channeling and stay focused. But I think we were talking about. Oh, so when my friend's sister-in-law, I guess, was talking bad about her son's girlfriend, I wanted to let her know. I'm like, well, sorry, man, but he's following what he knows, what he grew up on, which is that toxic environment. So that's what I'm trying to say. As if you have certain characteristics or behaviors, it's okay. I'm gonna say it again. It's okay. Just don't ignore them. Face them, see them, and understand them. And I've talked about this in my many videos before, but I'm not really getting into that. That's more the inner work, or I can get into that. But right now, what I'm just saying, like, that's the whole part of, like, how you being self-aware. Because if you're not self-aware, then you're not gonna because that's the key. It's one of the keys to transformation is self-awareness. One of the keys to transformation is self-awareness of what role you're playing. How am I reacting to this? Am I reacting? Am I feeding into this shit? Like, what am I focusing on? And I'm gonna touch on something that one of the tribe members, dude. Well, she follows, man, and I had nothing against her, but you know, she's always putting her dirty laundry out on social media, on Instagram, and she made a couple of comments, and I wanted to comment, but I'm like, you know what, dude, don't, just don't. Normally I would have, because to me it would have been normal, like, fuck it, you know what I mean? She's putting her shit out there, so might as well just tell her what she needs to, you know, heal or fix. Which is, like I said, that's something that I'm learning, just to, like, not everybody's ready, and approach with caution. And she finally put something up, but she was always, and this is what all I just said was, are you a victim or you're a creator? Are you a victim or you a creator? You know, and man, oh my God, I even put, wow. Once I heard her response, everything was on caps lock. So obviously it was, like, I guess, yelling, or she meant for me to see it. And first of all, I think she mentioned something about, like, are you one of these religious assholes who was gonna tell me that Jesus is gonna save me? And it got a little fire in me. It's like, it triggered me. But I caught it. So I'm like, the way I responded, instead I was like, you know what? I am an asshole, yes. But I've never been really seen as a religious guy. I've never been seen as a religious person. That's what I said. I've never been seen as a religious person. But to tell you the truth, I don't think even Jesus can save you. And I blocked her. And I know I triggered her. But my thing was this. It's because she's always complaining about her ex. I'm like, instead of complaining, what are you doing to make the change? You know, what are you doing? And then she had mentioned in her comment that if she dies, to look for her. I'm like, dude, there's restraining orders. There's proper ways to take care of it. But by you focusing on the negative, by you dreading on it, that's all you're attracting. You're attracting all that negative shit to you. Because what you focus on inflates. So this is me speaking, like I said, to the tribe member, like, or to me, the tribe member, because I've been following for a while, and yeah. But that was my thing. It's like, I didn't mean to, but by her regurgitating it, I'm like, I seen it, dude. It's the same thing when I talk about Michelle, sobriety playbook. Now that I sit back and I observe, not taking it personal and everything that happened, like just taking it all out and just observing her. She's hurt, man. She's still wounded. She's still going through her own development. But her mistake was, as like, meaning our relationship, me and her, like Michelle Sobriety Playbook, it was, she thought she was just a teacher. Like, I'm here to tell you what to do. Instead of being like a wounded warrior, which is Chiron, which is just listen. Because the more we share with each other, the more we talk to each other on the same page without judgment and without proving the other person wrong or having that battle of I've been through worse, which is what that's like the whole, no, nothing against Narcotic Anonymous and Alcoholic Anonymous. But that, if you ask me, it's like, who's more depressed? I've been through, it's like a story of battle of like, I've been through more shit. And it's not about that, man. It's that's icy. They're still stuck in that victim mentality by bringing it up as us by saying, yes, I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, man, you're an alcoholic, but it doesn't make you. Like, it made you who you are. They go, it made you who you are, but it doesn't define you. That's what I was trying to say. You mean? So, anyways, so going back to my friend, like I said on Instagram, like, so I just blocked her, man. I just blocked her because I'm like, dude, I'm just, you're attacking me now. Like, first of all, if you don't want people speaking or bringing things up to you to trigger you, because that's what I did, I triggered her, then don't put it on there. Don't put it on social media. Because there's going to be people like myself, or even worse, like me and my old self, well, I would have let her have it. And she would have probably hated me forever and be like, dude, that guy's a narcissist. But that's narcissist in me. Because it's like, dude, I'm going to just give you a reflection. I'm going to just show you a reflection. That's what I'm going to just do. You mean? So, yeah, man. And so, going back to, like I said, the title of the video is purpose, right? And like I was saying, I was talking to my buddy the night of the full moon. And, you know, we're talking about females and things like that. And, like, that, what the conversation was about was, like, you know, us still having sex for pleasure. You know, like one night stands, Tinder, you know, fucking, what else? Hinge, I think Hinge is another one. All those, like, dating websites, you know what I mean? And I go, well, brother, it's, this is what I told him. This is for me, what I'm understanding, it's because you're lacking the sense of purpose. You're lacking sense of purpose. So when you're lacking sense of purpose, your ego is gonna want pleasure. It wants to exist. You're finding your sense of self. So it's gonna go to these instant gratification. Like I said, if your addiction is drugs, it's drugs. If it's eating, if it's shopping or hoarding, if whatever it may be, you know. It's like you remind me of my brother. Like, as an alchemist, you remind me of my brother Anthony. He's a drinker. He's a pounder, man. He's a pounder. Man, yeah, brother, and it's because it's just stuff that, like I said, I'm learning, and there's nothing, and that's just the thing. It's like, as I'm learning, there's no wrong way. There ain't no wrong way, because if that's what you believe, then that's what it is. Then that's what it's gonna be. I'm not gonna be here. So when you're explaining or you're trying to get your point across, is saying, or get the message across, if it you know what, you're not supposed to explain your philosophy. You're not supposed to explain your philosophy. You mean, first of all. But if you're trying to convince somebody, like, catch yourself. Am I trying to convince them? Because you're not. Especially if they're narcissistic. Especially if they're still asleep. Especially if they're not in the same alignment. You're just talking to a brick wall. You're not going to get nowhere with them. Especially if they're toxic. That's what I'm saying. Pick your battles. Pick the battles that are necessary to fight. And that's why when I do talk to narcissistic people or people around here, it's like I don't even go with it no more. Like, I try a little bit, like I give my 2 cents, like, meaning my thoughts of whatever we're talking about, of the subject. And if I'm just getting like, no, or then I just stop. I retract my energy back, and I retract because there's no worth it. Unless if you want the drama, let's say, like, you know, fuck it, I feel like getting myself into a dilemma today, then yeah, go ahead. Like I said, knock yourself out. Or if you want to teach them, or like I said, because sometimes I find myself, or more in the past, I like to aggravate people. I would like to trigger people because like I'll say again, people don't want their illusions destroyed, and that's what you're doing. You're destroying their illusions, and when you destroy their illusions, they're gonna defend it, especially the people who are asleep. And we are living right now, it's still a narcissistic world. It's still because I just came out of it. I just came out of it, man. You know what I mean? In the sense of, like, being more self-aware. Being self-aware. Just being, and this is the beauty of myself, that this is what I do. Like, right before this, man, I did my breath work. I pulled my card out, my tarot card out. You know what I mean? And I asked, like, should I go on here? And I'm like, you know what? And since last night, triple on this. So I woke up, like, I fell asleep about 10 o'clock. I woke up, like, around 10:45, 11. My son called me. There you go. My son called me and said good night. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be asleep already. But anyways, I don't know, man. Fucking Jack Sparrow came to mind. Jack Sparrow. So I started watching, I put on Disney. I put on Pirates of the Caribbean. I just started watching it. Man. I watched half of it. But this is the theme. The message that I got from it. I watched that movie before. I watched it before, especially when I was asleep. Like, I haven't watched it as I'm awake. So that's another recommendation I would give to somebody is watch movies. Again, like, watch them because you're watching it through a different set of lens. You're watching it through a different set of eyes, a different lens. You really are. You're watching it through a different set of eyes because you're understanding it through differently. You're not just a watch. You're not just you're picking up. And Disney has a lot of hidden messages, man, from the beginning. So this is the part I got, like, because I didn't see it. So that when I see it, his compass, because the movie, the whole like thing is like to get Jack's compass, right? And his compass, what does his compass do? What does his compass do? It points where? To your biggest desire. To what is it you really want. And Jack Sparrow doesn't fucking know what he wants. That's why it's always going everywhere. So I was tripping the fuck out. Because I'm like, do you really know what you want, Johnny? I do. Like now, I question it because I think the more questions we do ask ourselves, the more the next step will be revealed. Like the more the next step will be revealed. You see, but that's what I used to see, like that, like his acting. He's just a badass, you know. Fucking Johnny Depp is just a badass actor, man. He is just because he reminds me a lot of ourselves, like, but he grew up with fame, like meaning ourselves in the sense of like he's wounded, man. He's not all there. Like I was watching one of his little clips, and when he was talking about Heard, right? He was talking about Heard. He said, she told her, he said, you ain't there, man. You ain't there. You're not. You haven't been there. And if you and when the way he was saying that, it reminded me of my ex narcissist, like of my ex. Like, yeah, they're there, but they're not there. They don't give you love. They don't give it back to you. I mean, that's the thing, because narcissists are weird, man. Like, if you've ever been with a real narcissist and lived with them, like I have, besides me being one, but because as you experience it, in other words, because remember, they're there to teach you and show you. Yeah, man. Yeah, but they're both wounded. They both are wounded in the sense of like because they're attracting the same energies, man. You mean he was with her and he showed her the world. Like when he got with her traveling, you know, showed her the Johnny Depp life. She loved it, but a borderline, because she has borderline traits. You guys mean she has really big borderline traits. It's only short lived. It's only peaches and cream and sex and fucking badass for the first 6 months to a year if you meet somebody, because they love bomb you, and that's exactly what she did to Johnny Depp. Yes, but she love bombed the fuck out of him, but it's their fear of abandonment starts pushing people away. His own shit was triggered, his own things, like meaning drinking, his own addictions and stuff that he has. So yeah, man. So like that's and the dynamic played out, and he wanted to probably bounce, and she said, "I'm gonna fucking rat you out. I'm gonna drop dime that you're an abuser," meaning what we've been through. And her gaslighting him and stuff like that, it was already. Let me slow it down. At the next level, slow it down. Let me slow it down. And it's not about that right now, but I'm already going 27 minutes. Slower. Triggers the nervous system right away. Brother, I'm from fucking the ghetto, man. I'm from the ghetto. I did go to school, but to party, man. I went to college 2 years, but just to party. I was a narcissist. I speak through experience, man. I speak through experience, and like I said, and then these past 2 years. So yeah, I'm like right now. I'm in the projects. I live in the projects. I was born in the projects. I was born and raised in the projects. You know, here, I grew up in a toxic environment, man. You know, my toxic. Like I said, my mom was not really a narcissist, but you know, drug addict. She was a drug addict. You know what I mean? Having when she was young. You know, my grandma raising me. I didn't have a dad, so those gave me certain characteristics, and then so me being, because I was abusive, you know, and then me seeing her go through abuse herself, it made me a certain type of way. So, and then always walking in eggshells, because when you're with my mom, like I said, borderline traits, you have to walk on eggshells, like meaning the way they are, your feelings, as growing up, your feelings, your emotions depend on your parents. So if mom feels good, I feel good. So you grow up, this is unconsciously, by the way. Like I said, you're doing this unconsciously. So you start gaining these characteristics and certain behaviors. And that's why now, fucking fast forward, 38 years now? You're a fucking professional at noticing this, picking up facial expressions, reading people. And then the more in tune we are, the more we take our power back in the sense of understanding who we really are. Remember, it's understanding who we really are, true self, our authentic self. And the more you speak your authentic self, the more And I said, and you start paying attention, the fake people are gonna fall off because you're starting to notice it. And then they can't project onto you no more because now you have boundaries. Now you have a sense of self. They can no longer manipulate you. It becomes difficult. So it's hard for them. For a narcissist, this is going to narcissism now. It's hard for them. So they're like, you're not worth the time anymore. You're not worth the energy anymore. So they'll go on to their next victim or supply or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And this is because I went through it. You mean, but if you had wounds like myself, we're gonna chase that. We're truth seekers. We're gonna look for the truth. We're gonna look for answers, and because my sense of self was all on her. Like I had put all my eggs in one basket. You know, with my ex narcissist that I grew up with. I mean, that I was with for 18 years. And when I started to figure out her true colors, as I started to chill the fuck out, like meaning pay attention, stop being a dead man whore, things didn't make sense. And when you bring things to the table with them, they're not going to face it. They're going to project onto you. They're going to blame everything onto you. And since you don't know your sense of self, you're going to react. And once you start reacting, just like Amber Heard does to Johnny Depp, look. And you, knowing you had these issues and problems in the past, it's going to fuck with you. This is where you're being gaslit now. Now this is when they're fucking with your reality. And they could probably, and there's some that do it purposely. And when they're doing, and this is where like, I'll speak this a part of like my baby's mama, like her narcissist, he's an awoken, he's an ultra narcissist. And she's, like I said, like, dude, she was with me. So that means you have wounds yourself that she hasn't faced it. And her sense of self is all on him. Like, all her sense of self is on him. And as soon as he leaves, she's going to collapse. She's going to have her own awakening of understanding self, of why is this happening, because everything that you have, everything you love was there, and they take it from you, man. They take it, and you're left naked. That's what I call it. You're left naked. You're left with, like, oh my God, what do I do now? So what do we normally do? Go to another relationship. Like me before, if that wouldn't bother me, I'll be like, man, fuck you. I have 2, 3 more. Let me hit up the, what do we have? The little black book? Get the little black book out? Or pagers, because I'm on the pager days, man. Yeah, I didn't have stuff. But anyways, so yeah, so like me, so no, man, I didn't go to school, in other words, like to study and stuff. Like all this stuff I started learning, like I said, these past 2 or 3.5 years, I started looking more into Jungian psychology. And it's all about understanding self. Like, what role I play? Like, why do I? Because once I figured out that they're a narcissist, because I didn't know what a narcissist was. I never knew what a narcissist was. I never knew what an empath was. Like I said, values, morals. I was just one of these guys that went with the flow. Just went with the flow. Let's see where the way it takes me. You know, my sense of self was on other people. I was all ego, man. I was half narcissist. I was walking the matrix. I was these guys, the ones that you dislike. That was one of them. That's what I was. You mean, and I understand that. And that's the difference between you, like meaning other people who are going to be listening to this in the future, you and a narcissist, is that you have a sense of self, you are starting to understand, you're starting to ask the right questions, and they don't. They ignore that part. They're an impotent. They're badass. They're as they think in their own little fantasy, which is the shirk psychosis, all that other stuff that I can get into, but that's more. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen those, but I've heard about that as well. I haven't seen that. Would you mind on my channel? Oh, what you say? Something about your channel, right, brother? My bad. Yeah, man, I think you said something about the channel. Like, my bad. Like I said, I was looking over here. But yeah, man, I don't know, dude. If you want to do something, we'll do something, brother. And I'm down. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this. I've asked other people, but they just give me the like, yeah, let's do it. But we never do it. We never do it. We never get to that point. Or I like the guy Solomon. He's one of our tribe members. Would you mind to put this on my channel and send people? Yeah, brother, for sure. Even better. Hell yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, yes, for sure. Yes, edit my shit. Do what you have to do. I'm doing this with my cell phone, brother. I'm doing this through my cell phone. All this is through my cell phone. All my editing, if you go to my videos, see my editing, is all through my cell phone. And that's why I tell people, there's no excuse. There's no fucking excuse. And because you, as you awaken, let's take back to the fucking, let's take back to the subject. As you don't have a sense of purpose, right? You don't have a sense of purpose, right? You don't have a sense of purpose. So, like I said, so you start distracting yourself with the ego and things like that, as I'm saying. And see, man, I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, man, for sure, dude. Yeah, for sure. But if you want to do a collab, I'll do a collab like that. But I've been looking for is that. But yes, please, and share my thing. Thank you, brother. I would appreciate that, man, because that's the whole thing. I'm trying to help other people. Yeah, man, don't trip, don't trip. We'll get there. Like as long as we're on the same page, we'll do it for sure. Cause I have a cell phone. I have a cell phone, and I don't even could do it like this. But we'll get there for sure, and we'll keep in touch, brother. We'll keep in touch, man. To me, you're a soul brother, man. You're a soul brother, and I appreciate that. Like, really do. I really do. So yeah, man, if you can, for sure, man. Edit my like meaning, yeah, for sure. Do what you gotta do, man. I'm not mad at all, man. That's the whole point. The whole point of this is to reach other people and get other people to start thinking, man. For people to start understanding themselves and what the point of this. Like, what is your like me? Like I've asked, like, what is the point of life? Or at least for like my this is like because I'm asking for myself now. Like, what am I purpose? Like, what am I here? Because if you, as I'm saying, like, if you don't, then all you're gonna just do is go back into the matrix. You're gonna go back to your 9 to 5 job. Yeah, man, for sure. We'll figure it out. You go back to your 9 to 5 job. Like, you're gonna go back into the matrix. Like, that's what I'm saying, because you're distracting. Because that's what the government is doing. The government is keeping you from awakening. That's the whole purpose, is to keep you. It's like the Matrix, the movie Matrix, to keep you asleep, to use you for your bank loans, to use you for your student loans, just to keep you and siphon you. And the more you're asleep, the more, because Tesla figured it out. Oh, this is another one, man. Something that I've been tripping out on is ancient aliens, brother. Is ancient aliens, man. Like for me now, there's no doubt about it that there has been different civilizations. Like there's no before us. Like I'm talking about advanced civilizations, and they have this the Hopis speak of this on their prophecies. The Hopis, if you look at the Hopi prophecy, they speak of this in their like the world dying every 5,000 years. Greg Burden talks about this. Out of place. We are, brother. That yes, and I at the chills thinking about. I believe you. We are. We get channeled by them. Some of us are them, like you're saying. Like, and I believe you, but I really do. You mean when they get channeled through us? They communicate with us through meditation, through spirit. You mean we just see it. It depends on your culture as well. Is how you're seeing it, because other cultures call them gods. Other cultures call them the Greys. Other cultures call them the angels. You mean, but it's all been fucked, if you ask me, by religion. And no offense if anyone's religious on here, it's whatever floats your boat. But religion just fucked it all up. Like the Vatican, they know shit, man. They know a lot of stuff, and the reason why it hasn't been out is because it knows it's gonna contradict their beliefs, their morals. They know that. They know it's gonna fuck it up. So that's the reason why they keep in the wraps. Like from what I'm understanding, but it's gonna come out. It comes out. Greg Birding was talking about this, man. He's badass. It's like I don't know what the fuck he is, but like an astronomer or something. But yes, brother. Exactly. And then the thing is, like, with because religion, like I said before, it scares you into believing, and it's like if you know you're gonna go to hell. I'm like, dude, if you ask me, like, this is like we are in hell now. Like we are in hell. And meaning like if you grew up like me, because not everybody did, but abused, man. Because I seen a lot of shit, man. My mom used to get my mom was abused big time, like by her boyfriend and stuff. And I seen, and it fucked me up, dude. It fucked me up. It did. I laugh about it. And all we could do is, you know what they say? Death smiles at us all. And all a man can do is smile right back, man. It's all we can do. It really is. And death is only the beginning. Death is really only the beginning in the body, in the flesh, here. And that's what we're here to do, is to transmute all these thoughts and to remember who we really are. Because like they're saying, Greg Burden says that our DNA has been altered. Chromosome 2 has been altered through whatever, and somebody came, sliced the fuck up and gave us this intelligence, which is known as consciousness. And the more we expand our consciousness, the more we are understanding our true self. We're not gonna need these retailers. We're not gonna need the metaverse. We're not gonna need the metaverse. Yeah, Yes, yeah, you know your shit, man. Like I'm saying, you know your stuff as well, brother. Like I'm not sure if you went to school or not, man. But you know your stuff as well, brother. I'm going on 40 minutes real quick, but so to follow your purpose, man, and going back to Jack Sparrow, like that just gave me that idea of like, do you really, and to focus on it, and like I go, and what do you have to focus on? You have to talk, man. You have to get out there if you want to become. It's like, and I've said it before. It's like that joke. This guy met God and asked God, like, hey man, I want to win the fucking lotto. I want to win the lotto. And the God told, the guy, like, hey man, okay, don't trip. So he sent him back down to earth to win the lotto. Months passed by, I think a year passed by, whatever. Came back to God and said, hey God, what the fuck? I haven't won the damn lotto. What's going on? So, just okay, man, I got you. Don't trip. Sent him back down. Months passed, came back up again. Like, hey, dude, I haven't won the fucking lotto. What the fuck, God? And God told him, well, fucking buy a fucking lotto ticket. Buy a lotto ticket. So I say, if you want to be a YouTuber, you want something, you have to take action. And even if it's wrong, like I said before, there's no wrong way in this journey. There's no wrong way. You might take the scenic route, you might go the other route, but you're still gonna go. You believe. And the perfect example of believing, if you watch the Cotto, I'm sorry, was it Cotto? I'm sorry, it was the Canelo fight against the Russian guy. What did he say at the end of the fight? What did he say at the end of the fight? Because Canelo was favored like 5-1, dude. We should, man. We should. I'll probably get a lot of tickets. But in other words, man, like it's believing. Doesn't know it's believing, like because the odds were 5-1 for the Russian to win, and but it is like he said, it's like they're like, if I don't believe in myself, who is? If I don't believe, and that was the thing. The way the other guy went in, he went in. I have nothing to lose. What am I going to lose? And I'm going to go for it. He was more hungry. He was hungrier than Canelo. And if you watch the preliminary, like before, Canelo was laughing. He was having a good time, and the other guy was zoned. He was focused. He was a warrior. He embodied the warrior archetype. That's what he embodied. And Canelo was still like if it was going to be a walk in the park. Underestimated the guy, by the way. And dude, now he became fucking world champion. He had like 4 or 5 bouts. He won. He fucking beat him. He won. I don't know how many million, but he won. And what I'm trying to talk about is believing, man. That's the power of belief. And so if you have a vision, just what I'm understanding. Remember, I want to talk about more manifesting and things like that. I want to talk about more manifestations as I start to manifest in my own life. Because the more I heal, the more I'm healing my inner child wounds, the more shadow work I do, the more I start reacting and become a conscious creator of my own world. Like, no, because the more you start making those choices, those right choices, you're gonna start shifting your reality, man. You're gonna start shifting your reality. You literally fucking will. And I see it. I might not be reflecting my bigger world yet. But I see it. I'm able, like I said, when I speak to people, I'm able to, because I'm deeper. I see the more work I do in myself, and the deeper I look in within, I can see others as well. Yeah, because people project. Like as I see, like when people start talking shit or saying stuff, it's just the way they feel, man. And this is the worst part about here, though. Around here is there's psychopaths, man, and gang members. They don't like me. They can't stand me because I'm not reacting anymore. I'm not reacting. So what do they want? They want to beat me up now because now, like what they're telling me is like it doesn't faze me, man, because I know who I am. I know who I am, and if something did trigger me, then I want to say I'm not like okay. Then I gotta see why is that triggering me. Like I have to see. Why did I have to say something? Like in other words. I live in Los Angeles, man. I live in LA, Los Angeles. And it's Boyle Heights, and then I'm in the projects. It's called Pico Garden Projects. So I'm in the Pico Garden Projects. So yeah, man, that's where I live. I'm in the ghetto, brother. But I don't go out because, like I said, they don't like me, and they had beat me up before. They jumped me outside before, but see, like I could sit there, oh my god, and bitch about it. Like, do not. It was like one of the best things to happen. Why? Because yeah, Los Angeles. Demigod, yeah, man. So it's a trip out here, brother. It's a trip. Like I said, like because I had to walk among them, but that happening, it dropped. Like there's only 2 guys out there that I can say that are somewhat real. Like besides that, everybody else is fake, project onto you. Dude, I had to kick one of the motherfuckers out of here, out of my own fucking house, man. Put it that way. The fakest motherfucker there was, and he couldn't even tell me my fucking face. He had to go and have other people do their shit. Like that's why I know they're weak. Yeah, man. Put it that way. But we're just gonna stay focused right now. Because I'll probably get kicked in my head right there. I don't care, man. That's the thing. That's the thing. Is like that's the beauty. It's like I could give a fuck less, man. They're not gonna own me. I live in New Orleans. Orleans. I've always wanted to go to Mardi Gras, brother. I've always wanted to check out Mardi Gras. Like, well, that, it's like my version of Brazil. Because I would really want to go to Brazil to their Mardi Gras, man. That's my, and I will. Because I want to travel, man. I want to travel. You mean, why? Because I want to see different cultures, learn different cultures because they have their own messages, man. They have their own secrets. They have their own Akashic records that you can learn from. And the Indians. So yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, and ayahuasca, dude. Oh, that's another one. Ayahuasca or the DMT. I've been watching a lot of Joe Rogan. And he talks with don't even trip. We'll meet there. Well, like I said, we'll got it, man. Like, you mean I still gotta get my own finances here, right? But if the way I see it, I'll be traveling, dude. Maybe not this year, but next year I'm gonna travel a little more. Right now, I'm just trying to find a different location. I'm trying to find a different place because there's a lot of politics here, and my aunt and them, they're moving and they're going to a smaller place, so I have to get out now. So I might go to Vegas, and if it does, it's okay. I'd rather not to, but if I have to, I will, man. I'm not gonna resist it either. You mean? It's where it's taking me, and I see it like this. My family moving from here, I could see it as in, oh, that's fucked up, blah blah blah. But I see it like they helped me in as much as they can. They did what they can. I'm blessed and I'm happy. I thank them, and it's a sign from God or God source or from my angels, from my spirit guides that like, hey, you're getting too comfortable there. We gotta get you moving. You don't belong there. We gotta get you some. We have to nudge you some other way. So we're gonna make you feel uncomfortable because now that the ego, now this is how I see it as the ego. The ego doesn't like change. The ego doesn't want to move. The ego doesn't want to change. So I tell myself, no, fuck that. Like that's the ego. But I see it as I'm like, no, dude. If you want change, you want different, you want to manifest, then you're gonna have to start making some fucking moves. You have to start doing something different. And that's what I was telling my friend. When we're talking about to the topic of today, which is having the purpose. It's like you're gonna feel uncomfortable because unless if you want to stay the same, but if you keep on asking yourself like I want change, then you have to do something different. And that's like he goes, because I was talking to him about he does tai chi, like he does tai chi, but I can't really, me having, because I only have one arm. I was in a motorcycle accident, like I only have one arm. It's there, but I have no use of it. Like I normally have it in a sling because I was in a motorcycle accident. I broke my leg, man. I've been through it, but so it's hard for me to do tai chi, but I get his concept because Tai Chi, it's about moving. It's like moving, but focusing on the breath as you move. You create your chi. And I tell him, like, you know what, well, I do breath work. But he goes, oh, I go, brother, do you think I like doing breath work? But I have been doing it for so long that it's a habit now. And it's okay because now my body knows it more than the mind, which creates a habit. And it's a good habit. And I get high. I was high, dude. I was getting high. I get high on my own supply. I die once a day. Going back to a Wim Hof, this is die once a day, and it's holding your breath. And it's like when you can't hold it no more, hold it a little bit longer. And that's the ego dying slowly. You're killing the ego, or at least you're not killing the ego, but you're turning it down. You're turning that critic, whatever it is, or that and you're becoming present. And this is how I'm understanding it. And that helps me stay grounded, be present, not worried about the past, because if you're in the matrix, that's what you do. You're walking it and you start walking unconscious, man. You're not being aware of your thoughts anymore. And now if you're hanging around with toxic people or toxic individuals, then what you're gonna in Spanish, the Spanish saying, my grandma always say it, dime con quien te juntas, te diré quién eres. Tell me who you hang out with, and I can tell you who you are. And fucking millionaires say this. Millionaires have said this part. To add the income of your 3 or 5 friends around you, their income, I will, bro. I will. Grandma, Beth. Yeah, I'll look into anything that I see. Like I said, I'll try it out. I'll try, like I was trying soma breathing, and that I loved it. You have to lay down, kind of hard in the lungs, but I smoke, you know. Grandma, I got it. I'll check it out for sure, grandma. Write this shit down. Grandma, I got you. Because it's just a different. It's like there's because there's Wim Hof. There's that I know. There's what is it called? Breath of fire. There's alkaline breathing. There's soma breathing. Like I said, there's Ashnat Kriya or something, like it's the Hindu, like holding your tongue. Oh, see, speaking of manifesting, so my teeth. That's one of my things. I'm like, I want my teeth to be wider. So I just can't hope all teeth get wider. I have to start brushing more, right? So I stopped drinking soda, cut down on my coffee. You mean, so that is gonna, that's what I'm saying. So taking action to your manifestation, in other words. Have your vision, I do my teeth are fucking yellow. But I've been brushing more, and like I said, to manifest that. And it will come. Just like I'm trying to manifest a new place, man. I need to get out of here. So, but I go, even if I get any plans, I need an income. I need to get a job. And like I said, I had plan B, which is like, if to go back into the matrix and start working in sales again, or hopefully, like you're saying, somebody thinks or how knows, okay, this guy knows something about psychology. Let me help him or get him or coach. That's my main goal. My main goal is to help others like myself who were asleep, brother, and didn't understand what was going on. Didn't because because when you exit a relationship with a toxic person, like once you exit that relationship, you're left with no sense of self. Everything, your core morals, your belief, because like I said, my grandma passed away, which is practically my mom. I lost my job, found out my girlfriend was a fucking whore. So I was left all by myself. But yeah, man, but like I said, that's if I have to go. That's like I have to go that way. But my main goal, like I have faith and I believe that I'm gonna manifest my dream job. Like that's my thing, which is helping others like myself. Maybe by tomorrow I might have another 100 followers. I don't know. Like I said, so that's my thing. Like just keep on doing, follow your path, follow your dharma, follow your highest calling. How? By quieting the mind, tapping into your heart, meditation, conscious breathing, being aware. And the more the answers, synchronicities are going to speak to you. And like I said, I'm trying to go the way of the shaman, brother. Like me, that'd be my ultimate, is to fucking, it's a big goal, but it's achievable. You mean like a shaman? I would love to be a shaman, dude. Because I'm all about plant medicine. I haven't tried it, ayahuasca yet, but I'm gonna find out, dude. I'm gonna see. When I try it, I'm gonna see if those entities are allowing me. If Mother Ayahuasca allows me, you know. But I feel it. It's calling me. It's calling me. It's been calling me. You mean? It literally has. Which is because if I understand this now, and I haven't done DMT, well, I've done like mushrooms. I've done mushrooms, but I've never done like ayahuasca or like acid tabs or things. I never tried it. For sure. Yeah, and like I said, like I was telling you about earlier, like if you want to win the lotto, you have to play the lotto, right? So if you want to become a YouTuber, like I'm like you do it, like you do it naturally, brother. Like you do it naturally in the sense of like I don't care if I'm not. And look at that, like your approach. Look at you're manifesting, man. You get views, you get people on there. Like I met you. Like think about it like that. Like so because you're doing it with no attachment. There's no attachment. You see, and me being more ego based, like that's what I'm saying. Like I have to overcome that stuff, which I have because I understand and I see it. I see my blocks, which is my own shortcomings. But yeah, man, you're a natural, dude. You're a fucking natural. You're a badass, dude. You really are. You really are. You mean that's something that I would like to, like I said. But we learn, man. We learn. So yeah, man. So along we go to our, I was saying something else, brother, man. But yeah, man, I'm already going for 54 minutes. Yeah, see, and that's the thing, though. Like, if you, same thing, dude. You go to my fucking videos, brother. You're like, dude, this was fucking whacked the fuck out, because I was going through a fucking awakening, man. I was blaming everybody. I started to become a victim. Because I started to become a victim. I realized it, and like I said, that's when I asked the question. Like my question was, if there are narcissists, what does that make me? What does that make me? And that's when I found my tribe. Empath Uprising. The Chosen 144. His name is the Chosen 144 with Pete Sapper. That's the chief. Like what I know now, what I've learned now, is because of them. Thank God that I made the effort and I said I'm gonna change. This is my opportunity. This is my time to change, because these people are helping me. That's why I seen it. They're guiding me. These are my guides. These are my angels. God put them in my path for a reason. And I'm helping them just as they're helping me. You mean? And that's kind of like, because when I got out of my, it's called fucking trauma bonding. I was trauma bonded. Man. I was chasing the narcissist, not knowing why, trying to get an answer, trying to get closure. And I'm a truth seeker, So, and it was just a circle. And there was not lessons I was learning. Them until finally I said, "Fuck, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, if they're a narcissist, what does that make me?" And I got my answers. Okay, so and I found out I'm a Heyoka. I'm a contagion empath. And if you look really into that, it's because I have my own inner child wounds, growing up and all that stuff. Angels help, guys. Thank you, brother. And that's my main goal is to help others, brother. Even if it's a little bit, even if it's things not to do, or if it's like I'm telling you, I'll say it again, but you encourage me. You have the beer, though, man. You do have the beer and the lokes. I don't have a 40, but I'll have a 40. But I tell you, remind me of my brother and my buddy Devin, my best friend Devin. These are pounders, and they're Heyokas. To me, they're Heyokas because still a little asleep because they never continued to work. And if you ask me, that's why they continue to drink, because that's their escape of the hurt or whatever. I don't talk to him. My brother don't talk to me because his narcissist took him, and my buddy stopped hanging out with me because of the guys here. I don't even know what I said. I said all that shit. But my buddy, like, he stopped hanging out because of the problems with coming here, so he stopped coming over here. So like I lost all my friends and I don't really have no one to talk to by myself. Like, so this is all I do. Like right now, once I get off of here, I'll probably do some breath work, probably eat something, and I'll probably walk the pooch just to get grounded. Yes. So my thing, like, I want to try more psychedelics. Like, that's like, I want more. I try mushrooms. I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm thinking about getting some mushrooms just to. But if it was up to me, a DMT, I never tried, like, which is acid, but you get the same effects with ayahuasca, and I would love to try it more in that ceremonial and with purpose of meeting these entities, man, of meeting Mother Ayahuasca and spirit, and to see what I need to see. And because from what I hear, brother, I was hearing Joe Rogan. Trying Joe Rogan, go on YouTube, just put Joe Rogan and DMT. There's a lot of videos of him talking about it, and it's like he said. He said he tried it once in one session, and just started thinking about things differently. In the sense of, like, you started seeing, like, where he's placing his energy, and I'm like, I know that stuff already. Like me, I already caught that. I've learned that through my own experience. I've learned that. So now I wonder, if I do try it, where is it going to lead me to? Oh, this is another one about communication, since I'm hearing myself speak right now. Is, like, I talk fast. So if I want to be a clearer person of communication, I have to speak 20% slower. And the more I speak slower, I can get my message across, and I'll make more sense as I'm learning. So we're going to learn shit, man. And if you keep on following me, believe me, you're going to learn something from me. And I'm learning from you, brother. I don't know if I touched on everything. Communicating. And I'll talk about relationships as well. Like I was talking about, like, when I came out of my relationship with the narcissist, I was left with no sense of self. Yes, man. And that's what it is. It is God source. But the God source, it's not out there. It's out there, like the field. Actually, the field is in us as well, as Great Burden. And God source is in us. You mean? And it's like people, they're seeking happiness, but, like, dude, you create your own happiness. And I'll give you a good example. It's like when I was with my mom in Vegas. I was visiting my mom in Vegas. She goes, dude, I love this. Like, I was there, the kids were there, the pool, we're barbecuing. She loved it. Like, oh my god, like, look, fuck. Like, I go, you see, mom? Do you see that feeling? What's up, brother? Dimitri, what's going on, man? Nothing here. We're just chopping it up with Mr. Zen Alchemist, man, my other brother. Yeah, man, we're just talking about like, well, I was telling you like how I told my mom like, you see, mom, like that happiness coming from my mom's borderline-ish. She's still asleep, but I mean, we're on our own journey. I understand that. Is you create this happiness. Yeah, man. Well, I'm wrapping up already. I'm going an hour. Man. But thank you, guys. Hey, hit like, guys. Please hit like. Help me more people find it. Okay, I think I lost you guys. But it's yeah, man. I'm going a minute. I think that's probably why an hour went over. But is you create that happiness. I was talking about you creating that happiness, man. You're creating that you know what I mean, that reality of what it is. You don't have to fucking go out there and people seek for happiness when it's all in them, dude. The whole source, everything. Yeah, man, for sure. Well, I talk a lot, man, for a while. I mean, and I'm supposed to be doing shorts on these videos, but like I said, my own ego, my own lack of purpose, it gets to me sometimes, because I let the ego get in the way. I'm not understanding it. So if you want to find, like I was saying, if you want to find purpose, is just go to your highest calling. And like I was talking to my friend, I was saying this, I'll say it again real quick. It's we're talking about like women or pornography, or some people eat a lot, so we go do drugs. It's because the ego is yeah, man. It got choppy. I know. My bad. But anyways, yeah, man. So anyways, but we're going an hour. Please like and subscribe, man. I appreciate you, Dimitri. You know what I'm gonna start doing, brother? I'm gonna do what you do if you don't mind, Mr. Zen Alchemist. I noticed you put like going on in 30 minutes. Like I noticed that, and I see that, and I don't. I just fucking come on here when I need to come on here, and I should be on here more. Like I said, it's just my own. I'm going through my own evolution, brother. I'm going through my own awakening, and I'm trying to follow my own dharma, my own highest calling. And it's difficult. It's not easy, because I have my own, inner work to do, and finding my own sense of purpose, and the more. Yeah, so you mean it's that is a good thank you. So I'm gonna try that like that, and because it's like I'm having a dialogue with you guys, and you're when I peek, at least when I peek on there, like I see you guys' questions or I see your comments, and it gets me like that to channel a little bit. And I call it channeling because it's not me, man. I'm telling you, it's not me that speaks sometimes. Like you're saying, it's like if I went to school, I'm like, nah, brother. It's like I didn't really go to school. I learned this stuff, but it's whatever comes to me, and I understand that spirit, and the more we heal our inner child, the more understand our shadows and things like that, like integration of the shadow, the more we start to unlock our own, like as I'm seeing, the more we start to unblocking our own chakras. And I want to go back real quick just to touch on it's like relationships, man. So if you're in a toxic relationship with a toxic cycle, I don't think you are, Mr. Zen. But that's the stuff that you have to get away from. And it's hard. It's really hard. It's difficult because it's all we know. It's all we remember. It's all that we know. So as you try to shift your reality, it's gonna feel different. It's gonna feel uncomfortable. And you do, brother. I think you do. You mean, but and I say, but it's because you do it with more intention. Do it with intention. With intent. And this is where I'm telling you, that's where my main goal is. That is to be. I want to be a shaman. Like I really do. Because it's a calling of mine. But I'm not gonna know yet into like I said, until I try ayahuasca or into that DMT, that third eye. Because like I said, Joe Rogan was talking about this. The third eye produces a lot of DMT, and if you ask me, by hearing his videos, you're unlocking the world around you. Just because we don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's like there's infrared, right? There's ultraviolet. When you change the lens, same thing. Just because birds see it, cats see it, spirit, and it's there. And if we pay attention enough, the synchronicity is there. Your intuition is telling you. But what do? We don't follow our intuition. What do? We go against it. Or because, especially, this is the biggest thing for me, is I stop people pleasing. I've stopped giving a fuck what people say. Fuck what they say. Fuck it. If anything, like when people are saying, dude, you're just as damaged as me, if not worse. At least I see it. I see my shortcomings. You don't even want to see that. You don't even want to see it. Thank you, brother. I mean, you've been with me since the beginning, man. I mean, for a minute. I'm going an hour, brother. I'm trying to keep it too long because I'll keep on talking forever, brother. I have a chatter about that. But yeah, man. So, like I said, I'm gonna try to break this into shorts, man. I've been saying that, but if not, we'll do another live. We'll do another live. We'll do another live, and I'll put it up there, man. I'm gonna take a page from your book, and I'll like, you know what I mean. Or I'll try to set a date. I'll set a date. I said we're adjusting, brother. So to follow your purpose, to sum it up, to follow your purpose is if you're being distracted, like I said, by females or drugs, it's all that's because it's gratification. It's instant gratification what the ego wants. And once you understand that, because for me, like, because I used to party, brother, like party and stuff like that. Like my buddy came the other day. That to me was a test. Like from who? From spirit. Let's see. Let's bring somebody who was partying with you in your path. And I told him, brother, like, I'm not the same anymore. Because he came out of jail. He was in jail for like almost 2 years, a year and a half. And I seen him. Like I said, I seen him. He came over here. I told him, and like I told him, like, brother, like, I'm not the same person anymore, man. I'm not the same person. Like, oh yeah, like, bro, I got some bitches. I'm like, yeah, brother, I've been celibate. I haven't fucked. Like, you know, we have fun once in a while. You know what I mean? But I don't, because I'm like, I don't find there's pleasure in there, but I already know the pleasure is instant gratification. It's like me going back to my ex-narcissist. If I go back to my ex-narcissist and she's not healed or she hasn't done the inner work, I can see where it's leading. It's only me fucking and sucking for what? 6 months to a year? And then what? Her being borderline-ish? She doesn't do the inner work? They're gonna just leave again. And you're gonna be back in the same routine. Like back in the same circle that you didn't learn the first time. So, and then not to mention, like, I see sex now, like, I would love a spiritual, like, somebody sacred, man. Somebody you can share and grow with. It's like boning your best friend, but a female. That would be nice, but that's not my goal. Like, my goal right now is to work on myself, focus on my career, focus on just creating my dream, man, my dream life, if it comes, like I said. And I'm not going to try to push something. Yes, so, because I see that, it's God or God source, spirit, whatever you believe in, is there to test you. It's just reality. It's just, I trip out, man, how reality is really, like, if you really pay attention to, like, reality transurfing, the Kabbalion, like, anything that's to do with, like, reality transurfing or making a reality by your choices, because your thoughts do create your reality. They do. Whatever your thoughts are, it's a projection of the outer world. Is a projection of how we feel. What are we gonna focus on? What are we gonna give? So, going back to my friend when he came, if I go to this, if I say yes right now and get in the car with them, I already know where we're gonna go. Go get fucking high, be with girls. But what? I already know what it's gonna lead me to. Same routine. You mean the hangovers, the like, what the fuck did I do last night? And I don't want to be there no more. Like, I ask myself, I don't want to be there no more. I want to. That's what I call shifting. I'm like, no. So by me making the choices, then I'm shifting my reality, man. And I know that I am. You mean? And you're gonna be tested. You know, like I said, like the narcissists, they're gonna come back. They're always gonna come back because you're just a piece of property to them. It's like if, like, my ex-narcissist, like, I feel she hit me up. Like, she hit me up pretty much. They don't hit you up directly because I know the way they think. Narcissists, the way I know the way they think. How do I know? Because, like I said, I was part of them. They like your video, and then they don't like it, but you get the message, and then they hit you up from a different profile, like, to see. But I see that's what happened. I'm like, dude, no. Like, why am I gonna, like, no. So those are my tests. Like, as I see, like, Mercury retrograde that's happening right now, what's going on, those are happening. And I'm like, dude, I have no money. I have a little weenie. What does she want? And it's because the way I see it, you're changing. You're a different person now. You're no longer the same person. You're now a challenge to them, and they want what they can have. And remember that. So that's what the signs I took it at. That's what I see. I'm like, no. And I got happy. I got excited. I'm like, shit, hell yeah. Like, I'm doing good. You know, and that's what it is. And I'm focusing on what I'm doing good. What is it I am doing right? What is it to I need to adjust? What should I have said? What should I have not said? And I didn't respond. I didn't respond. So, so they're gonna come back. In other words, Bill Dimitri, they're gonna come back, man. You know, just and it's being grounded and don't fall for it. Don't fall for it because I'll help. Like believe me, I feel bad. Like anything, I feel bad because the ex narcissist is hitting me back up. That means they're unhappy in their life. They're going through their own stuff. So that's why I have to see it instead of oh I hate it. Fuck no, dude. I just feel bad for them. I really do. So yeah, man. So you're gonna be tested, man. You're gonna be tested. What I mean by test, like I said, it's gonna happen, and that's how I see things now. This is a test, and this is where I said act with integrity, act from the heart as much as you can. And if you make a mistake, if you fuck up, it's okay. Make your adjustments. Don't maladapt. Just make your adjustments properly, and do it right. Like meaning, lay them down soft, or just ignore it. For me, I just ignore them. Exact at the end, their karma, their shit, it's built in them. They are their own karma. They're gonna destroy because they're running away from themselves. They're like I said. Yeah, thank you, brother. See you all soon. Yeah, brother. Stay lovely, lovely. Oh, lovely, lovely. Thank you, Zen, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I've been going for an hour and 11, man. But I'll stay on here for a little bit longer, just to get this message out real quick about relationships. Like I said, I was gonna talk about relationships. It's what is no longer serving you, brother. What is no longer you know what I mean? It's like I was saying, I was telling Zen, it's attachment. It's like, you know, the attachment is a root to all suffering. And Buddha said this. Buddha said that. For sure, yeah, 111. And that's exactly, and that's the video's been going for 111 as well. Yeah, man, but yeah, I think I said enough already. I said enough. I guess I was not even gonna get on here. You mean I was not gonna get on here, but I pulled this card. I pulled the Emperor. I pulled the Emperor card. And what this helped me is like, yes, like just go on there. Go on there. You are creating. You're a creator. You have the world in your hand. You have the world in your hand. And this to like just to me, I see that like it's like spiritual. You're a king. You're holding. So this is what I start doing. Like how I'm reading tarot. Like remember, I don't need tarot to read like or speak to spirit, but this guides me. Like it gives me a story, and this helps my ego because remember the ego wants to know. The ego wants to know everything. It wants to know what's happening, what's occurring, and it wants to know the next step. But you gotta have faith. You have to have faith. You have to have faith, in the sense of that your spirit guides are gonna guide you, that you are doing the right thing, and just take the right step. Like, dude, I'm a perfect fucking example, man. You mean because it's not easy? It's not easy, brother. It's not easy. You mean so? And then when I looked it up, like afterwards, so I looked it up afterwards, right? Thank you, Dimitri. What I seen is like it says that I'm on the right path. I am a creator of my own world. I have my own boundaries now because I know what I want. So, going back to last night, I think I said it, but I'll say it again since you're on here, Dimitri. It was my son called me and I woke up. It was 11. He said, "Good night, Dad." I said, "Okay, good night, son, whatever." And I don't know, Jack Sparrow popped into my head. Jack Sparrow, whatever. And so I went. I looked up Pirates of the Caribbean, and I started watching Pirates of the Caribbean. Just started watching it. I don't even know why. I just said, "Fuck it, watch it." But now, seeing life differently, through a different set of lens, to just a different set of lens. And I never caught this message, and I've seen it before, but it's his compass. It's his compass, right? What's the purpose of his compass? It shows you your. There you go. Jack Sparrow. What was Jack Sparrow doing? He didn't have a sense of direction. He didn't know what he wanted. So that's why his compass was all over the place, because he doesn't know what he wants. So that made me question my own self. Like, is that so? That's the message I got from the movie. Like, and I didn't watch all of it, but just seeing it, that's because Jack was getting everybody, he wanted everybody. And if you're anything like me, like, you know, like I say, Heyoka, or someone who was raised differently, say, and I say differently, what desires the most, what he desires the most. Yes, that's the whole point of it. Is like it was, what does he desire most? And I didn't, like I said, I watched the movie before, but I'm watching everything. I'm sorry, just I seen another message, but yeah, man. So it just gave me like, okay, you have to know what you're gonna want. So it gave me the topic of today. Like I'm saying, it's and then like I said, speaking to my friend about, you know, when we go to our hey Kelly. Much love, guys. Hey, don't make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure to hit the thumbs up just so people can like this, get the video out there more, guys. But yeah, man. So I just want to go on here real quick, guys. And like I said, I've been going on for an hour and 15 minutes. And I am going to do a little bit of editing on this if I can, if I remember. But thank you, guys, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know how long you guys been watching me, but love me your movies through the lens. Those are messages. And if you ask me, those are messages from spirit. Those are messages from spirit. That is just it's just having you look through things a little bit differently. That's what it is. So yeah, man. So I hope that makes sense, guys. At least, and I'll try to like I said, sum it up. But that was my thing, and I was like, oh, you have to if like I said again, if you want something, you have to keep at least make the right action. Take the action, even if you're gonna make mistakes. Just don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Because if you're not kind to yourself, who is? And believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who the fuck is? And that's why it's not good to lie. Why is it not good to lie? Because, as Jordan Peterson said, when it comes down to it, you're not going to be able to trust yourself. Because how much you've been lying. You're creating cognitive dissonance in your head. You're creating a distance in your head. You're not believing yourself. So when it comes down to it, to believe somebody, when it comes to trust yourself, you're not going to be able to. That's why it's not good to lie. So that's why it's good to be honest and open and speak your authentic truth and fuck what they think. Who cares what they think? That's the biggest thing, and that's the art of not giving a fuck. No, it was called. It was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Check that out. You know what I mean? And what I like I said, it just stop giving a fuck. Literally stop. Give a fuck about the right things. Like choose your battles, pick your battles. It's like I said, when you then listen to somebody, listen to them instead of trying to. What am I gonna say next? And if people are not reciprocating the same to you, then and that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna change their mind. They're not wrong, because that's what they believe. Because if that's what they believe, then it's what they believe. You're not gonna convince them otherwise. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's why you're saving your energy. You're protecting your chi, man. You're protecting your aura, and you're not engaging in nonsense. Remember, when you speak to someone, you're supposed to be like, as I see now, I don't just go in there like fucking just throwing my opinion around. Like, no, dude, it's because everybody is in their own illusions. Everyone's living their own reality. Everyone's their own little universe. Has their own morals, their own beliefs, by the way they were brought up. Their own experiences. And the way it is now, this whole world, with this fucking Instagram and instant gratification of likes and pornography and drugs, that's what it is, man. And we're escaping ourselves. And the government doesn't help, doesn't teach us none of this stuff. My parents never taught me this stuff. I learned it on my own, through my own awakening. And like I said, I'm thankful, and I thank God again that I met the chief, I met my tribe, and I made the decision to make the choice to change, man. Because change is gonna feel difficult. And all this is part of the journey, brother. Everything's a part of the journey. Everything's a part of the journey. You're gonna fall down. There was a Japanese proverb. Fall down 7 times, get back up 8. And don't beat yourself up. Just learn from them. Don't become maladaptive, but learn from them. Understand it. What did I do wrong? What I should have said? What shouldn't I have said? Like I said before. What should I have said or what shouldn't I have said? What could I have done? And if you can make it right, make it right. And if you can't, then let it go. It's no longer serving you. And I'll say it again. Attachment is a root to all suffering. The attachment is a root to all suffering, man. So, like I said, as you get out of the relationship, man, of that toxic individual, you're gonna be left with no sense of purpose, and it's okay. It's normal, because you're being reborn. You're being reborn. Literally, you're the spirit. You're growing in a spiritual level. It might not seem like it at the time. It's not gonna seem like it at the time. As you awaken, it's gonna feel like fuck. I can see why people wanna just end it. I can see why people just lose hope. Well, dude, they just took everything from you. But remember, this too shall pass. When it's hard, that's something that I wish I would have learned and understood a little bit more sooner in my development, which is this too shall pass. It's gonna pass, good or bad. Good or bad. If you're in your high, you're in your fucking high, you're let it up, it's gonna pass. That's right. Humble yourself. You have to humble yourself at all times, as much as we can, as we understand ourselves, as we make our mistakes, and because we're gonna make them. But it's okay, like I said, don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself, because you're not gonna be if your brother or sister or someone you love or care about, you're not gonna be an asshole or a dick to them. I would hope not, at least. You know what I mean? You're gonna treat them kindly, right? But why do we treat ourselves with fucking so shitty? Well, because that's all we know. That's all we grew up with. That's all that was shown to us. That's all we understand. And since that's all you understand, it's all you're gonna show yourself. But the more you catch it, the more in the work, and the more you sit there with yourself, the more you can understand this. As I'm understanding this myself. So, yeah, where that came out of, man, this is what I mean by, like, this is the stuff that I know I should be like. And I might sound like a broken record. And I was telling myself, you just sound like a broken record. But I go, so what? Keep on saying it. So, this is my ego. It's in there. You know, those are my old negative self-beliefs that I was programmed with, that I had to overcome. And now, as I'm no longer a victim, I am a conscious creator, and I'm going to create my own reality. And we'll talk about more manifesting as I go through my journey, as I manifest in my own reality. But first, it starts with us, guys. Okay? So, like I said, man, much love, and namaste, love and light, motherfuckers. I love you guys, man. And thank you guys again, man. Thank you guys again. Thank you, Bella Brighting. Thank you, Chief. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for everything you guys done. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, all the Amandas. Thank you, even Elizabeth Sunchaser. Thank you. Just thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for helping me grow, helping me understand myself, man, and believing in me. Like I said, you know, as I believe in my own self. Okay, so my message right now. So yeah, man. So much love. Okay, love and light, and namaste.